And baby, we're a part of the story, you don't know it. But Miss Laverne is her name when I worked at NASA. And when I started off at NASA, I was the secretary in the library, secretary in the library. So you can imagine I saw so many professionals around me. Astronauts, librarians, engineers, scientists, you name it. And I was at the community college at the time, and I knew I wanted NASA to pay for my education. I knew, I had a lot of resources of people pouring into my life. But Miss Laverne was the head secretary. She's a black lady. So Miss Laverne was over 10 of us. And I was the only one out of the 10 who said, I'm just doing the secretary thing so I can get into NASA and move forward. Right? But everybody else truly wanted to be a secretary. So Laverne picked this up on me, and if I went right, over here, my right or your right, but if I went over here, Laverne was standing over there, blocking every opportunity, every resource, with lies, putting up roadblocks. Everything I did, it had to go through Laverne. And if I tried to go around Laverne, oh my gosh, she was going to attack me in front of everybody. So babe, this is where you come in. So years later, so this is before I even got my PhD with Miss Laverne. Years later, I graduated, I had my PhD. My husband, who was my fiance at the time, we're actually back in my hometown in the grocery store, and a fragile lady comes up. She has a cane, and she's walking like this. And she hooks her cane on something, I don't know what that was, but she touched me on my shoulders. And she said, "What is your name?" And I'm like, oh, good, people in my hometown know me. I'm Antoinette, and I'm ready to tell the story of how, whatever, maybe she knows my grandmother, uncle, somebody like that. But she says, "I am Laverne." And still, I really didn't remember everything she had taken me through, so I'm like, "Miss Laverne." And she says, no, I want to apologize to you. She said, "I was wrong. I lied on you. I cheated on you. I did everything to destroy you." And she says, "Will you forgive me?" Babe, I don't know if you know, but you were standing right there. And I said, "Of course, Miss Laverne." And I looked at my husband and I said, "I'm so glad God gave her the opportunity to apologize to me." Always decide to give love. What looks and feels bad, what looks like somebody is marginalizing you, labeling you, bullying you, can turn into a blessing. And that blessing may not occur overnight. Also, forgiving someone is a spiritual mandate for your healing, learning, growth, and achievements. Now, if we are going to achieve anything in life, if you're going to get out of your comfort zone, please know that the wilderness is going to come to you. So I stand here to encourage you. You will accomplish your goals. Every single one of them. Be okay with falling down. Your fall down may look different than someone else's fall down. Prepare yourself to get up. Pray for everything and keep moving forward. So I'm always a practical application person. So if I were to have you do this, I would say, you want to draw a narrow, bumpy road. Narrow. And it needs to be through the forest. And the reason I say narrow is because when you move someone onto your road, and maybe they shouldn't be there, right? You're so focused that you feel it. You feel that distraction, that enemy, Maybe you're doing something to yourself, you feel it getting on your road. If your road is really wide, you're going to be unfocused, and then people can join you along the journey, and you really not feel them attached to you. I say make it bumpy and curvy because you're going to experience challenges. And along this road, your road should have all of your goals. All of your goals. And you should be intentional about achieving everything you want in life. I can't do it for you. You can come to many speeches. You can hear people on the panel. They cannot do it for you. Have a vision. Don't worry about the clarity of it. But be intentional. I want you to have this road of yours. I'm going to stop for like 10 seconds because I want you to think about your road. I want you to think about being in the forest and how this forest has fruit, has scents, it has animals, but it has your dreams and your goals along this road. And I want you to think of it being a narrow road. It is time for you to put your attention on your intention. The road is your journey. Along this journey, you have the goals that you must achieve, your vision. It's now your turn. If everybody could stand up. Oh, this looks amazing. Are you guys feeling good? Yes. All right, perfect. So you've done this. You told me you already know this, but when you fall down, what do? Yeah. Absolutely. And when you get up, you're doing what? Praying. And as you're praying, you're doing what? Moving forward. Okay, so the reason I ask you to stand because I want you to just demonstrate. Now, see, your get up could be a crawl, but you're moving, right? Your prayer can be consistently while you're down or while you're moving. But what I want you to practice while you're standing up is just one foot in front of the other. It doesn't have to be big. So go ahead, do it. Just one step. There you go. You see that? Now the other thing that I ask you to stand up, because one of the things that I have one regret when I was a McKnight Fellow, my life was so amazing. You know, I had like a great dissertation chair. So I would come to these meetings and I would hear people crying out their hearts. And I could not relate too well. Right? I would listen in on them talking to someone else, but that just wasn't my connection. So one of the things I really regret is that you don't really have to identify with the person. You don't have to understand their pain. You could be having the best day of your life, but you should give that person a hug or a pat to say it's going to be okay. So I'm going to encourage you right now to just show some kind of support to the person next to you, whether it's a handshake, a pat on the back. I'm proud of you.
Oh, proud of you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you, sir. Thank you for all you've done. Thank you. Thank you for all your help. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. Thank you. Dr. Moorhead, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Awesome, yes. Wow, you guys just made up for my loss. Thank you so much. That was beautiful to see that. May the nuggets that I have shared with you prepare you for your toughest battles. Fall down, get up, pray, move forward. Say it with me one more time. Fall down, get up, pray, move forward. And then finally, I just want to say that when I was a McKnight Fellow, I was involved with the Center of Excellence, the Brain Bowl competition, and National Achievers. And then after I left and moved to Ohio and came back to Miami area, I continued to be involved. So in everything you do, just please serve and give. And I thank you for your time. So, any questions? We have time for questions. If you have any questions for me. Yes, ma'am.
I also have a little one, and so I'm wondering about your experiences in parenting while you do your program, and any knowledge you wish to impart.
Yes. So places like Costco was my friend, because that means I can buy in bulk, right? Because you don't have time to spend a lot of time in the grocery store. And then we studied at the table together. So when they came home, I had things to do. They had things to do. When it came time to cooking, I let them watch me, because there will be times when I didn't know if I could cook or not, and I just wanted them to even know how to, cook a real cheese sandwich if possible. I brought them to conferences like this, right? Because I wanted them to see excellence. I got them involved in the National Achievers, all kind of Brain Bowl events, Center of Excellence events. It gave me more time to show up to PTA meetings and to visit the school. So I felt like I got more parenting time. At nighttime is when I did most of my research. And I mean, this is not without crying, without, screaming. I don't know if I screamed, but it probably was inside, right? But it just, so the journey is tough, but it's motivating. I want to say that. And hopefully you're at a school that understands that you are a parent. I was at a school that understood that.
I'm at a funny one.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you, and we honor you. I think it's amazing, the example that you represent. I also am a single parent of two, and my question is, I don't know, last year, your schedule, when you're working on your dissertation, what is your advice as far as with the parenting, balancing life and everything else like that? How did you persist in spite of life?
Yeah.
What are some suggestions you have?
So I was in my office every day. I want to say that to me, what got me through was I boxed things. So if my daughters got home at 3, I was home at 3, but I made sure that I was up and I was productive prior to 3. Some of my fellow students, they would talk more about what's on TV, what's happening in Orlando, what's happening in Ybor City. You might know about Ybor City. And I didn't have that privilege. And I'm glad I didn't have that privilege, because I graduated faster than them as being a single parent. Right? So to me, it was just, prioritizing that moment. If it wasn't toward my goals, then no, you couldn't come on my road, period. I hope that helps. Okay. Give me questions. What do you have? Okay.
Could you talk about the importance mentoring played in your PhD process? Mentoring, yes.
Okay.
Through the process and then post PhD.
Okay. So I have a lot of mentors. I have main mentors. I have mentors that I thought they were my mentor, but they were too much of a distraction. Maybe I had to ex-mentor people. Is that a word? So when I tell you your focus, your journey, it doesn't mean, it means you can choose the wrong mentor, right? But you gotta be quick and strategic about saying, not so much anymore. So I wanna give my personality credit because I do open myself up to advice and criticism. I do reach out and I ask. I don't just say, can you be my mentor, and then walk away from you. I choose you because I'm trying to understand and improve something better about me. So with that being said, I find that I open myself up to criticism and growth and advice. And I just want to really leave it there because I do observe people well. And some people don't like criticism, don't like feedback, want to polish the picture for the mentor. And the mentor can do nothing for you when you do it that way. So Uday is here, he's one of my mentors. And he knows I'll shoot him a quick email. You might want to look at your phone, I might have a text there or something. So the other side of my personality is I can know something and not rely on me knowing it. So I can ask you a question that I already believe I have the answer to, but your perspective is going to give me something different. And I have honestly been in conferences and asked a question and somebody, well, she's a doctor, she doesn't know that? Okay, well, you keep thinking that way about me. I'm asking for a purpose. So I actually have people who invite themselves into my life as mentors and people I actually seek as a mentor. And so Charles, the only thing I can say about that is I've been fortunate to have many, many mentors. I've called you as well, right? I've reached out to Dr. Morehouse as well, right? I have two of my mentees right here, but them being my mentees, I actually ask them things as well. So to me, my mentors are like family members. So my advice would say, don't close yourself off to people. Don't come to these conferences and hang with the same person only.
Yes, Dr. Smith, thank you for acknowledging us as your mentees. My question to you is, early in your process, how do you go about choosing your research partners, your co-authors? How do you go about choosing your topics? I know from speaking to you, you like quick turnaround time on projects and stuff like that. Can you give us some advice?
Yeah,
Thank
okay.
you.
So, Uday, I don't mean to keep throwing your name out, but my dissertation chair like whipped my butt, okay? So when I say he whipped my butt, he required only the best. But he was so humble that when I screwed up, he would just call me in and talk to me so nice about screwing up. So,
You didn't do that much.
that made me who I am. So then I look for partners who are similar to me, right? They have a different expertise than I do, but their personality is similar to mine, meaning 2 a.m. writing a paper is not a problem for them. If we need to be on the computer, for 5 hours at a time, then they're okay with that. Now maybe there's a parent, maybe they have like the child in the picture. I'm okay with all kind of distractions, and I'm also okay with me taking the load for you, and then you taking the load for me, but we're working as a team. And there's no, there's just, everybody has a goal, and everybody's hungry, and everybody's eager to do that. So I'll look to see what have they published. It may be that they published in my field, right? And so I'm reaching out to them, because throughout all of this, you should be expanding your network. So you're likely to know someone who knows someone on that paper, right? So then I'm doing that. But if it's someone who has not published, maybe they're trying to get ahead, then I reach out to them as well, because people have reached out to me. So it's just a full circle. Who can you help and who can help you? Does that answer?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
And it may not even be in your area of expertise, right? They may just have the skill, that you need for your paper. If you look at my research, I have researchers outside that are non-accounting researchers. But all my paperwork is our team, because I don't like working alone, and I have a family, I enjoy life. I'm a wife, he's very needy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. So a team.
She had to go there.
I'm sorry, babe, I say that in a good way. I really I do have that book on becoming wifely material, and it's not about being a wife, but it's about finding that softer side of me. And so, when he met me, I had that softer side of me. So, so I enjoy being your wife. But the point is, I have like so much to do, so I like teamwork. I like teamwork.
This is just a statement, just kind of comment on what you're saying. Growing up, basically, it was always, it takes a village to raise a child. And kind of what you're saying there, as a family here, it's kind of taking that village to kind of give us all the support. So
Yes.
I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you. I want to take one more question. I feel it on this side. I told you I'm a psychic. I actually feel two on this side, but, see, I knew it. Okay.
So my question is related to the ambition that we all have, right? So everybody in this room either has a PhD or is working on getting their PhD, most of our programs were told the goal is to finish. Like whatever it is that you want to do, like you may have a lofty goal to create something yourself or come up with something new, but that may extend your period. And so I was kind of giving some words of wisdom or encouragement for those of us who have maybe dreams of coming up with our own something unique related to our area, which is different. So I guess your thoughts on that, and how to kind of be okay with that, because we have to, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, I think that, I want to acknowledge that I think differently than people that I know. So I've sat in conferences, all the panel discussions were great, by the way, this year. So my response to that is, I agree with those who say, get out, do what you need to do, because that's the university that you chose to get your PhD from. Your resources are there. They're the ones who are going to give